Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to part 14 of the What For build. All that's left to do is the cowl cutting. At this point, I must really apologise to you. I actually made this video about 2 years ago when I did the original series, but unfortunately I changed my phone, the video got lost, blah de blah de blah. So here we are again today just to finish off the series. This is especially for a few of my subscribers that have sort of pleaded with me to do a video on the cowl cutting. It's actually quite simple. As you can see, the model has done quite a bit of flying. It's about 2 years old, 2 seasons old. It's probably had 100 flights of 8 minutes or so. So when you top that up, you're looking at it's done probably 13.5 hours actually flying in the air. During that time, I've had to replace the tip on the elevator here, and that's because it broke off. It actually got blown over off my stand up at the field. It blew off it, but it just cracked on the actual glue joint, so glued it back on, put a bit of orange covering on, same the other side to balance it up, doesn't look too bad. Replaced the stripes that were black, they were all coming off, peeling off, and as you can see around the cockpit area, it's now beginning to peel. It's seen better days now, really, to be honest. It all wants refurbing. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's get back onto the cowl cutting. Here's the tools that we're going to be using. It's a Dremel rip-off type tool with a drum sanding wheel. That's really good. Here's the cowl. I've put masking tape on it to show the marking where we're going to actually cut the cowl. And I've also got, I found it at my old stock here. Here's an old What For cowl that I've cut years ago, but that's just to show you exactly sort of what we're going to do on this model. First thing to do is get some masking tape around your model, as so. I've put little arrows on there. That is where the cowl will sit when it's in its sort of finished position. Same round the top. This is just to give me a little guideline. I'll just drop that cowl on and you'll sort of roughly see that's the sort of thing what we're going to do on the new cowl. Yeah, dead simple. So what I do first is I make some little flip templates out of cardboard, hinge them with masking tape, put this edge on where the cowl is going to sit, and as you can see when I flip it round, that sort of gives me the clearance mark that I want to put on the actual cowling to cut. Yeah, flip that one out the way, flip the top one down, and that, if I can sort of zoom in, that is where your needle valve's going to poke through the top. So fold them back out the way. I'm sort of happy where they're going to go. What you have to do now is actually remove the motor, which I've just got on one nut. Hopefully I'm trying to do this one-handed while holding my phone and hoping nothing, engine doesn't drop off onto the workbench, but I'll give it a go. So let's see if I can undo it and use both hands while I do this. Just get the nut off. I've already disconnected the throttle linkage and the pipework, obviously, so we'll just drop that out the way. Right, let's get the new cowl. We'll drop the new cowl on, get the pipework inside. Whoops, we'll get the new cowl on into position. If you hold that into position, I've already checked that the prop driver will protrude out the front of the cowl by about 2 mil. So, just to give a bit of clearance on the front end. Then, quite a simple thing to do, we just fold our templates round, hold it in position. Obviously, this is only rough at the moment, as you can see, because I'm doing it one-handed. But then I've marked that round with a marker pen. Same again, drop the top one round, get it in position. It's really tricky, but I'm sure you get the idea of what we're up to. And I'd mark the hole at the top there for the needle valve. Quite simple. Obviously, we're not going to go diving straight in and cut to the line. I'll probably leave about 5mm on the drawn line all the way around and work to that. These cowls are a fiberglass made job, as you can see inside, but they're only thin. You can cut them with a pair of scissors, normal household scissors. Obviously don't cut to the line, like I say, come in a few mil, because the scissors will actually sort of chip away at the gel coat. And it leaves a bit of a rough edge, to be fair. But if you just get the majority of the fiberglass away, then back to the old Dremel, put a nice drum sanding wheel in there and just go round the edge, and you'll sort of end up with what we've got here. And it leaves quite a nice edge. It's not too straight, that one, but it gives you a good idea. The carburetor hole's a bit big on this, to be fair. But I did find that this cowl does tend to vibrate a little bit, because you've only got 3 securing screws. One in the top, on that top, fold that out of the way. One on this top lug, and 2 in the bottom edge of the model along here. So it's not really that well supported. It's good enough to do the job, but I found that it vibrated, and all it did was chipped all the gel coat around there. So I just whopped it away with the sanding wheel, and just to make it all nice and clear. You know, I don't want nothing touching the carb or any part of the engine for that matter. On the other side, I've just drilled and put a fuel filler hole. So that's obviously where the filler pipe will come out at the end of the day. But that doesn't need to be marked in any specific way. Just make sure it's clear of the bottom of the engine when you do it. So that's basically it. I'll probably put some finished photos when it's done, just to show you exactly what I've done. But I'm sure if you've managed to get to this stage, the cowl cutting will be quite easy for you. So that's it, really. A little bit of practice. Take your time. There's no rush in doing the job. Just try and make it as neat as you can. But it's a fairly simple cowl to cut. As you can see by the old one, it's a dead easy shape to cut. It's not complicated at all. So to be honest, it's a good cowl to practice on before venturing on to more technically cut cowls, that you might have on your scale models, etc. So that's about it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the What For build. It's been a really good model, like I say, like they always are. Chris Foss's superb model. Yeah, that was a little point. The only problem I did have was the fuel tank was actually too tight into the firewall, into the bulkhead sort of area here. So I had a few engine problems in early days where the fuel was frothing up. So I took the tank out, got my Dremel in there, took probably 3mm off all the way around to make it a nice easy fit, and bedded it on some nice sponge foam to reduce the vibration. And I held it in with an elastic band, 2 hooks either side, because the tank will actually work its way out with vibration. So that's about it. Nothing else to report, I don't think. So hope you've enjoyed the series, and happy flying.